guys, it's Mark Roberts. Today on Let's Get Into Entertainment, the business of entertainment, Tootie.
That's right.
We're going to be talking to Eric Buccio, CEO, and really the creator of Casa, Mexico, Tequila. He's where it started. Like, if there was a seed of an idea, it started with him. He planted that seed, and now there's a bunch of people involved with this company. It's been a long road, but Tequila is his life. He's here to talk to us about how he got his company started and where it is today. And also, the really interesting part for us is that it's actually entertainment, because when I met Eric Buccio, he was starting to move his product into the United States. And as a result, I said, being a filmmaker, I was like, I really like your product. I like you. I like your story. Let's try to do a television show. Is that what they call them still? Television shows?
Series.
Television series. I said, let's do a TV series about you building this company. Let's try to get some celebrities involved, which is what he wanted to do. And we did. So today we're going to talk about starting the seed of an idea, turning it into a company with the CEO of Casa Mexico Tequila. We're also going to talk about how tequila is really connected deeply into entertainment, and you have to have entertainment involved with some products for them to succeed. So we'll be right back with Eric Buccio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into Entertainment. We're going to talk the business of entertainment. Today,
that sounds good.
Yeah. I want to welcome Tootie. Tootie, thanks for being here.
Tootie. 2000 Tootie.
That's what's
2000 Tootie.
Shout out right there.
And Davey Dave on the ones and twos.
Yeah. What's up?
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Fans?
Appreciate you.
There we go.
Well, dude, I'm excited today because today is a day that we're going to marry entertainment and alcohol, which, by the way, is a big business. And today we have Eric Buccio, CEO and creator. I want to call it creator because this was definitely a creation, creator of Casa Mexico Tequila. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Buccio.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, everybody, for having me. Thank you for having me.
Dude, well, you know, we've been friends for a long time. And we're going to get into your origin story because this is fascinating, dude. I mean, you're talking about a very difficult business. If you're listening, alcohol is probably one of the most difficult businesses in the world, right?
That's exactly right. Alcohol and tobacco.
And filmmaking.
Cutthroat.
And filmmaking.
Absolutely right.
I'll knock it off with your rolling your eyes at me, Roberts. Just because this guy goes, let me put a call and make a movie in 6 months doesn't mean it doesn't usually. He's like The Rock with the tequila thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's just flowing.
It's all right. Whatever. No hay pedo. No, this movie went really smooth and easy for you.
Yeah,
you got to admit that.
It was one of the highlights of my career. Yeah. And I do have to thank, I don't want to get all off the topic here, but I do, I got to thank my friends for it. Mario, and I collaborated on this and awesome. He thought of it and somehow it just caught fire, and it was a very lucky thing, but if I'm honest, I've been pitching Mario and we've been talking about projects for years and years and years and years. Yeah. We haven't made a film together since 2002. So you do the math. 2002, It's 2020. Yeah, it all feels like, hey, you guys are always working together doing stuff. But truth be told, this is the first movie we've done in shoot.
That's crazy.
Okay, so that's that. It's great that we did it. It's a wonderful film. I hope people watch Lifetime and check out Feliz Navidad in December.
Timing is everything, man.
Yeah,
right there.
No coincidence.
No coincidence whatsoever.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for saying that. The great thing about the collab that we all have is that now we're talking about Casa Mexico Tequila, which, by the way, does make a cameo in Feliz Navidad.
It does. And it doesn't made in Mexico.
It doesn't made in Mexico.
It's been around.
How did you guys use it? How did you use it in your film?
We used it, Davey Dave's character and the cartel guys, they were drinking it. They were sitting around. There was guns on the table. It was outside by the pool, and they were drinking Cosme. We used it a few times. That's awesome. In fact, we use your backyard right here, Roberts.
I remember.
And take it easy. And your what are those things called where you throw the bean bags? What's the game?
Oh, yeah.
Cornhole.
Yeah. Cornhole.
Wait, cornhole's in the movie?
Well, no, your cornhole boards.
Yes.
The Cosmerico make an appearance in the background.
Nice. A shout out to George Pisano, my brother-in-law, who actually
made those.
I imagine him like sanding them and crying while he's sanding them, and painting Casa Mexico on there, like just crying like a little baby.
Job,
he did a great job. But Casa Mexico does appear in both Tootie's movie and my movie. Yeah. So that's exciting. But let's get to the origins of this business, dude, because you've gone through a lot to turn Casa Mexico into a brand. And, you can, my friends, the dads at school, that go, their kids go to school with my kids, they pick up Casa Mexico all the time at Ralph's. We just ordered Casa Mexico from Pink Dot. They should be delivering any moment now. And some sandwiches for Tootie.
That's
Multiple.
saying, you know what? That's saying something, Roberts, because you are part of Casa Mexico and you got to order it in.
Yes.
Are you drinking that much of your own product?
Well, it's
you are.
It's,
That's the truth. Don't lie. I was with you in Carson.
He's actually one of the best customers we have.
You're the best customer. How many bottles did you go through in Carson?
8.
8 bottles in 4 weeks.
I like that.
That's 2 bottles a week. I do the numbers right.
But I'll be honest with you, when it comes to a small company, believe it or not, you know how many family members come to me and ask me for a weekend bottles?
Dude, me?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
if I have somebody like Roberts come to me and say, don't worry about it, I got you by supporting, that means 10 times more than when my family comes to me and asks me for a bottle.
Yeah,
why does everyone ask for free bottles?
Because I don't know. I guess they figure I have them laying around, and here they are. It's not the way it is.
Like you have a hose that's got Casa Mexico in it and you're filling bottles
I got
for free
in the back of my house. That's not the way it works.
I don't understand it.
That tells you a lot about Roberts's and especially to Casa Mexico. He never asked for something.
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it goes out.
On occasion,
that's important.
On occasion, I have received some nice bottles from Casa Mexico, and when there's some abundance, but alcohol's a complicated business. It's not like there's no rules. It's not like you're making a T-shirt and you can just hand it to someone, right? You can't just grab a bottle of tequila and give it to people. You can't just be handing it out like if it's nothing. There's rules. Tell us about the rules before we get into the origin of your story.
The rules of this industry, it's a tough industry for starters. You got all eyes on you. You got the law that protects the consumer, which basically you can't be out there having any type of influence purchasing. So you can't give somebody a shirt to influence them to buy a bottle. It's just not the way it is. So you actually have to go out there and prepare yourself in a way that happens organically, where people actually do want to pick up your product, and then they get something in return, which might be a shirt, might be a hat. So this industry is so protected, and because of the big dogs of the world.
You could also get drunk and crash your car, right?
100%. Yeah. So I get all that, right? So we pay a big fee to make sure that we follow the rule. And the rule is never to influence somebody to buy your product based out of a shirt or a giveaway. So people actually really have to buy your bottle and then say, I'm a fan, I love Casa Mexico. Yeah. And there you go. And then you incentivize them by giving them a shirt or an event where they can be invited to. But it's very cutthroat. You can't just give somebody a bottle or give them a bottle. And if something happens.
Here's the crazy thing. Like when we started, look, as a filmmaker, and we've talked about it on the podcast, I hate to be stopped. I will not be stopped as a filmmaker. You tell me I can't shoot there, I'm going to shoot around the corner. And then when you walk down the street, I'm going to shoot right where you said I couldn't shoot. But with tequila, it's different. Like, even if you tell me, hey, you know what, I'm throwing this event, come have your tequila and give out free tastings. Well, first of all, there has to be licenses. Yep. You have, that has to be licensed. You have to have the right to share your product with people. Alcohol's a very complicated business. I remember many times we were in Vegas, we were in Arizona, we were wherever we were at. There were rules to how you can promote your product. You just couldn't go out and open your trunk and start giving people your product and go like, hey, try my tequila. You can't do that, right?
That's correct. And by the way, you mentioned it very well. Every state and every county is different.
Yeah.
So you have to follow that, and you have to stay very close to your lawyer. Make sure that everything you're doing is by the book, because it's one of those type of business you just can't mess with.
Hey, and by the way, for all of my friends and our friends who are listening that want a free bottle of tequila, here's how it works. We make it in Arandas, Mexico, Guadalajara, Jalisco. It gets shipped to the United States. It goes through all these customs, this cost to get it to come to the United States. Right. Then it goes into a distributor's warehouse. And then to get free ones is nearly impossible because they're keeping track of what they bought, because then once they buy it, they sell it to all the stores. So there's a line of people with their hands out to make a profit on that bottle. So that bottle costs whatever it costs in Mexico, then someone buys it, distributor buys it, then that distributor sells it. So to get free bottles is very difficult because it's just not available because everyone's keeping an inventory.
That's correct.
And when 10 bottles disappear or a case disappears, then all of a sudden who's who's paying for that.
Most definitely.
And it ends up being you.
That's
And you should support your friend, dude. If your friend is, it's a smaller company.
Buy a botella, man.
And you bought a few botellas.
No, he's bought
Many.
tons of botellas.
Many botellas.
Yeah. I think he's.
Has Lopez ever bought a bottle?
I don't think he has.
That's okay though, because
that's
he's a
okay,
star.
most
I always
bought
say this.
bottles off of him. That rat bastard.
Oh man. Okay.
Now the plot thickens right there with that one. But,
So here's what's great about this podcast, Buccio, and I'm so glad you're here because we love to talk about the inception of ideas. We love to talk about how businesses get started. What's the business of getting your product going, whether it's a film or whatever. What I love about tequila is that alcohol lends itself to the entertainment industry, So when we met, I'm just going to get you started here. I got a call from Johnny Porcher. I think it was Johnny Porcher. Yeah. He said to me, hey, I want you to meet somebody. He's got a tequila company. And I was like, I'm not interested. I go, I can't meet him. I don't know anything about tequila. I don't do anything but movies and raise money for movies. Yeah, but as a favor, would you meet with this guy? So he set up a lunch at Casa Vega. I go meet you. I still have the shirt you gave me. It says Buccio on it. We sat down. You told me your story. And I just kept thinking like a filmmaker. I said, this is this filmic story. This is a television show. If he can succeed, then this would be a great television show about a guy who invents a tequila, who comes from selling Red Bull to people. This is an amazing story, by the way. Buccio started by selling Red Bull when everyone was saying Red Bull's going to kill you. Red Bull's going to cause a heart attack. Red Bull is going to destroy you if you you'll get addicted. It was like a drug.
That's when I was like, oh, I bet.
Let me try that thing.
Exactly right.
So then Buccio,
like Jolt. Remember Jolt back in the day? Same thing.
So his
tons of products.
His career started with Red Bull. So tell us about how you started and how you convinced people to buy Red Bull in California.
Well, I'll go a little bit before that. So I grew up in a very food and beverage industry driven family. So my dad was a tortilla maker. He actually worked for one of the biggest tortilla companies.
Tortillas? I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's badass.
So he actually came to the States because there was a company that wanted to seek his services because he knew so much of the industry. So he came to Los Angeles and they said, hey, I want you to be a part of this tortilla company and you basically be the CEO. So my dad said, all right, I'll be here for a few months. Well, I was born in Mexico, raised in the United States. You could imagine what happened, right? We ended up staying here and being a part of the food and beverage industry because of my father. So I saw him in the industry. And the reason why I say food and beverage, because everything evolves around tortilla or chips, anything have to do with Mexican was always a part of the beer, was always a part of the Coca-Cola, the Pepsis of the world, because he knew everybody. Everybody was in the same sort of business. So I was 5 years old. I can remember going with my dad in his different routes, servicing different accounts, meeting the produce manager for Ralph's, meeting the produce manager for Albertsons, for Alpha Beta back in the day.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually meeting all these people from Coca-Cola, from Modelo, from the biggest distributor in Southern California. And I just grew up in that industry, understanding the complexities behind being a part of what my dad was. But it always took me by surprise by seeing my dad thrive. He loved it. And I could see him getting along with everybody. He knew people from all over the place. He knew managers, regional territory managers, CEOs, presidents, and they would always hug my dad and say, how are you? I see your route is growing. So I loved the feeling behind how my dad got to know these people and how they were almost like a family, but everybody was in their own business. So when I turned 18, just imagine all those years of experience with my dad. My dad says, all right, I don't really want you working for me. I think you know as much as you should know. So it's time for you to go out there and fend for yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
So I joined first. My first real job was with Pepsi, Pepsi Torrance, California. And I basically went on my own. Dad, thank you very much. I'm on my own. Let me go look at this industry.
Was he happy for you?
He was happy. He was very happy because he didn't want me to he wanted me to take over his business eventually, but he knew I had to get out. And it was more like, you get out, fend for yourself, show him what you're made of, and then eventually I'm always here for you. So I left to Pepsi, several years there. I learned a lot from a conglomerate like Pepsi. And eventually just started meeting the same CEOs, presidents, and I ended up one day at Red Bull North America, and it was when that small company was just starting, and it was exciting. It was new. People were telling me no, which I loved. I loved the challenge. People are like, no, this is crazy. This is not going to sell for $2.30. Mexicans or Latinos are not going to buy it. What are you talking about? That's the people who need energy. So long story short, that taught me a lot. It taught me how it was to start a company because it was the start of a company. And I learned everything from my father. So learning all those tricks of the trade eventually led into my mind and said, you know what? I'm going to produce my own product. But it had to be tequila. And the reason why it had to be tequila, because we were Mexican. Our house was a Mexican household. And our house was Casa Mexico. It was simple as that. People would walk into the house, it was Casa Mexico. So it was too complex for me to think of a name. I was like, bienvenido a tu casa, Casa Mexico. Esta es una casa mexicana, somos mexicanos.
Perfect.
That's where it was at. But everything led from Pepsi to Mission Tortillas, which my dad was the oldest rep in the whole United States of Mexican tortillas with Gruma Corporation, which was Mission and Guerrero, to about 3 years ago when he retired.
Oh, wow.
So imagine, he was the oldest owning route owner in the whole United States.
Amazing.
As a tortillero. Long story short, all that I learned was go out by yourself, learn the trade, teach them what you know, and start developing your own company eventually.
Yeah.
And I said one day, look, Dad, you know what makes us happy? Tequila. Tequila makes us happy. Even when funerals would come, would happen around our house, people would still drink tequila.
Dude, we're drinking tequila today, and we're just sort of
my drink right now
celebrating.
with tequila. It's delicious.
Yeah. And that's how it really started. The inception of Casa Mexico in my mind was driven by our family, which all my uncles are part of the food and beverage industry, by the way.
That's amazing.
So it's been a part of our life since I was 5 years old, since I could remember.
I don't want to skip over the part where, because you did mention it, but you kind of skim through it. You were selling Red Bull.
Yeah.
And Red Bull was a product that people thought no one was going to want.
Correct. Yeah.
And when you were going to mom and pop stores, they were saying like, dude, no one's going to buy this, right?
Get the F out of here.
Yeah.
That's what they would tell me straight out.
So yeah, you're going to kill people and then I'll be liable. So then, but some places go, okay, fine, give me some cases, I'll put it down. And what ended up happening is that the gardeners, not just gardeners, I'm talking about people that work out and do manual labor. All cultures, right? That need that energy in the morning, that maybe don't like the taste of coffee, right? They were like, wait a minute, there's an alternate to coffee and it's called Red Bull and it tastes like a soda and it's got caffeine in it. And they started buying it. And then what happened? People started calling you and saying,
correct,
hey, remember those cases you dropped off?
You're absolutely right. I mean, I'll take it back a notch. I remember one of the hardest buyers I ever dealt with was completely adamant about bringing in a Red Bull. Because he figured, hey, look, we have Lipovitan. I don't know if you remember Lipovitan, that little Latino drink.
Little glass jar.
Yeah, a little glass jar. It just, no, we have Lipovitan. You're crazy. No one's going to buy $2, a 10 or 16 ouncer. Yeah, it was. And I would say, look, it's not for you. It's for the consumer. Your consumer, people that need energy, people that work for us, people that are hardworking labor, blue collar workers. And he was like, nah, you're crazy. Get the hell out of here. I mean, I'm just being soft with the words. He was an asshole.
Yeah.
Long story short, a year later, regional manager was calling me and saying, Eric, go visit this guy. Finally needs to meet you.
Is this around the same time when vodka Red Bulls took off? Or was that?
Well, yeah.
That's after, right?
That was after.
Yeah.
But that kind of like,
that led the way.
Yeah, because you're drinking those in the club.
By the way, have you had vodka and Red Bull?
What?
You're
That
up
was
all
my
night,
drink back
dude.
in
You
the
stay
day,
up all
dude.
night.
But the next day you were the next day you felt like you don't know what to do.
Sugar content just killed you.
Yeah.
Just killed you. But back in the day we were young, right?
Yeah, you could do it back then. I couldn't do it now. I would die.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how it started. And they started calling me back, giving me incentives and sending me to Puerto Vallarta because I was like the rep.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I was young, living at home, making very good money with a very solid company that was up and coming, that would listen out to its employees, which to me taught me so much because they would actually listen out to you and say, what do Mexicans want? You're Mexican, so tell me what they want.
Right.
Instead of him saying, hey, this is what you need to follow. So that's one thing I learned from the company, from Red Bull as a company, how to really adapt to a certain demographic.
Right.
That was very important.
Right.
But I never forget the fact that they would call me back and say, you're absolutely right. I was looking at this product like if I liked it.
Yeah.
But I would never imagine that the Latino, that blue collar worker that was actually spending $2 to $8 on buying 4-packs, was going to come back and say, do you have something bigger than 4? And that's when they started developing a little box.
Yeah.
Red Bull just went.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Atmosphere,
talk about being the head of an industry, dude. Let's just say Red Bull was the beginning, and you would think that there's no room for others, and now there's a multitude of energy drinks. We're drinking one right now, Celsius.
Celsius.
That and there's room for all of them, right, in the market,
That's true,
which is pretty amazing. So let's move on. Let's fast forward a little bit. That's amazing, by the way. That's a remarkable story.
Great story.
You saved some money, you put some money away, and then you had a dream of starting your own tequila company, which, by the way, you're crazy, dude. You're out of your mind for having like this crazy dream to take over the world with a tequila company, because it's not easy, right? So tell us what happened when you stopped selling Red Bull and Pepsi and decided, I'm going to go make a tequila, because this story takes 7 years.
Yeah, well, it takes 7 years to develop, but it started in my mind really in 1999, right? Y2K, where I kind of decided, like, with my dad, you know what, Dad? Some money saved in the bank. I know you know a lot of people in Mexico and the highlands of Jalisco, and you're well connected, and I want to develop my own tequila company. You know, it's like, really? Okay, great. By the way, I've always seen my dad pour out different types of tequilas, and he was always passionate about it and just make people feel great. So I was like, I want to do that, but with our own company. How's this? How's Casa Mexico sound to you? Great, son. Let's go. So we went to Tequila, Jalisco first. I wasn't feeling the vibe. It was kind of fake in a lot of ways, because there was a lot of big companies who were kind of doing their thing, their little tours.
It was the Knott's Berry Farm of tequila.
That's exactly right. So I figured I want to go to Disneyland of tequila. We can go build Disneyland in Arandas.
Yeah.
And I went to the highlands of Jalisco, and my dad took me with some people that he knew, and he says, look, I think nobody's going to take care of us better than these guys, because they're not going to mess with your, $1,000 here. Let's go this route. And we went that route. And my dad basically led me the way with all these people that he met in the past. And I felt very comfortable with the distillery that I actually went to the first time. And the guy was really hearing my dream. It's kind of like, this kid's young. I'll believe him. He's putting his money where his mouth is. Yeah. Let me do this, right? So I ended up staying in the highlands of Jalisco. And that's where I started developing my product. And the first real true bottle was made in the highlands of Jalisco.
Right.
Is that the place we went to in March? Oh, yeah. Great place.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about...
We're talking years, man.
Yeah, you're talking about years of work, and we'll get into how a tequila is created, but the highlands of Jalisco, which is different than tequila, you're talking about a place that has volcanic rock embedded in its land, red soil, kind of like going to a Sedona.
Very true.
It's very, very red, right? So when you put your tequila, your agave in the earth there, and it grows, and then you turn it into tequila, a drink. When you try Casa Mexico tequila, you can taste the earth, you can taste the history in that drink. And I tell people all the time, if I share it with someone, I'll say, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine the dirt that this is grown in, the volcanic rock that is grown in, and you can taste it when you think about it. It's kind of like a wine, but the creation of a tequila is not easy, right? I mean, you think that every tequila that goes in every bottle and every different brand is the same, and the reality is that each one of them has its special ingredients that you created. That's personally. Right. So how did you create Casa Mexico? Like, what were you looking for? What tastes were you exploring?
I gotta say that coming from a real true tequilero like you, for you to say that, it means a lot, because it's true. It comes down to your process. You can't cut any corners.
No.
One thing I did not want to develop was a cheap, everyday type of tequila. No way. It was all about
Cuervo.
That's
exactly gold player.
Little gold.
But even then, those guys I have mad respect for, because they put tequila on the map. So to me, regardless, it wasn't my thing.
And bro, people buy that stuff.
Oh my god, dude. And trust me, I bought it. Let's be honest.
Back in the day, but now, dude, I'm not going anywhere near that.
But not respect for those companies, because they can develop whatever they want. But the way I started,
they
trailblazed. Yeah. The way I started was basically, look, I want to create something that people are not going to make a face with. How do I do that? And it really starts with the plant. I really saw that Tequila Jalisco was a little bit more dry, more dark. In Arandas, or the highlands of Jalisco, caught my attention because, first of all, there was very few tequilas coming out from Arandas and the highlands of Jalisco. And I just love the feeling of being 6,000 feet elevation. And just the plant seems so much more resilient. And I said, this is where I want to sort of spend the rest of my tequila life.
And you mean resilient because the weather. You're talking about like there's snow, there
has been snow.
There's heat.
There's been big old, what do you call it?
Hailstorms.
Hailstorms that have
It's pretty magical. I remember we were driving at night.
That's
and
the word, yeah.
You could see the agave plants looked blue at one point, which were trippy.
Yeah,
I was trippy. Well, I was pedo too, but I remember looking out the window going, "What the fuck? The plants are blue."
That was the tequila talking, buddy.
Yeah, that was no, but he's actually right about it. It looks amazing. So I saw that difference. And when I started developing the product, it really came down to the type of chemist that I had with him because I was learning a lot of this process, right? But,
okay, you just threw everyone off who's listening. Chemist. What are you talking about? A chemist? Like, what are you saying?
I consider myself a tequiologist.
Yeah.
It has
so tequila,
there's a mix.
Tequila requires. So just to make it clear,
need.
just to make this clear before you get into this, just to make it clear, there is a chemist involved in creating the tequila, and they use various types of flavors. Can you name some of the flavors that go into?
I mean, there's different types. For example,
vanilla.
A lot of people find vanilla, peach.
Yeah.
They feel some caramel in there.
Yeah.
It just depends on your palate. That's the thing.
And is it real? Is it real actual flavors or are they flavorings?
No, it's real actual flavors. It come from either the barrel if it's a reposado or añejo, or a true silver or a true blanco or cristalino will always feel the punch of the tequila.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel some notes of other flavors, but it's going to be your palate dictates that, not so much the product. So if you're used to having wines and stuff, your palate's going to tell you like, oh, I feel a little bit of vanilla. I feel a little bit of peach. That really has nothing to do with the soil.
Or what you're imagining, right? Because I think when we met, you said try a mango with the tequila, and I would put a mango on my tongue, and then I'd sip the tequila and be like, oh wow, I could really taste the vanilla, or I could really taste, whatever it is. So the chemist starts to create. When does the chemistry come in? So does it come in before the distillation process or before? I'm sorry, did I say that both twice? Does it come before or after?
Well, this is the way I've done it. I keep a chemist around, which is a certified chemist who has been part of the industry for a long time, because you need to make sure you neutralize all the particular particles that go into producing tequila. So that chemist from the beginning to the end is there with me producing that batch or that truckload or that particular pipe of tequila. Reason being, there's a lot of different synergies that go with you fermenting, distilling. That chemist needs to be there with you. By the way, I'm pretty much a chemist myself, but I'm just not certified. But one thing that I learned, having somebody there will always make sure that that product comes out the same way. That sample you had is the same way it's going to come out in that whole truckload. It's very important. Some of these companies cut corners. They bring a chemist in just for the shot and then they're out. That's it. I keep one around to the end because it's so important to have constant. You need to have that wave of the word
consistency.
Consistency. Yeah. That's exactly right. And that's a problem with the industry. And you need to keep that same chemist basically for the most all around through all your 5, 6, 10, 15 truckloads, just to make sure you're giving the same palate to everybody.
All right.
And that's very important. So for me, from the beginning to the end, the chemist is there, making sure that we're doing the right thing.
All right. So Maddie at Jam Street Media, our guy, and Amanda Rosenberg, if they want to start a tequila, they just woke up this morning and thought, I want to start a tequila, and they meet a chemist that afternoon, how long before they come up with the ingredients necessary for them to be like, okay, this is now Jam Street Media tequila? How long from the idea to the chemist to like the bottle that is now the secret sauce?
Fairly quick. I would say 48 hours.
Really? So they can get together in 2 days.
This is where it gets tricky. You can come up with great ingredients, but guess what? If you don't have the amount of plants to produce truckloads and truckloads of
there
consistency,
you go. I can't grow them back here in my backyard.
You're just going to have a batch. You're going to have a batch.
Yeah.
You're going to have 10 amazing cases.
Right.
That's it. That's the problem. People think look, it's not impossible. I'm here, it's not impossible.
Right.
But at the same time, it's very tricky because you have to have years of back you up with a plant and the type of production that you have prepared to make that silver, the reposado, and the añejo.
Right.
So to have, a lot of companies just have a silver. They don't even mess with the reposado and añejo. Why? Because it takes you have to age them 6 months to a year. Right. So some of these companies are like, no way, I don't have enough time to waste for that. So you can do an amazing 10 cases of a product. That doesn't mean you're going to have truckloads of it.
Right.
That's a difference.
Yeah.
I can produce an amazing product for you, Mark Roberts tequila tomorrow if you want. But consistency, not so much.
But I gotta make sure I have the plants. I gotta make sure I have the distillery. I've got to make sure I have the bottle, the design of the bottle, design of the name. So let's get into this. So you created your brand. You had your flavors for the reposado, for the silver, for the añejo, and for the extra añejo. That's 4, right?
Correct.
4 different flavors. It's almost like having 4 different wines.
That's true.
And then you had to get the name. And from my understanding is that Casa Mexico is not an easy name. So I could call Tequila Robert's Tequila, and it's probably a lot easier than clearing
Most definitely.
Casa Mexico Tequila. Tell us about how you cleared the name and who needed to approve that.
Yeah, well, if you want to start a tequila company, first thing first, the name. You need to get it trademarked, right? And the organization actually works hand in hand with the CRT, which is a law of tequila. So the first things first. Trademarking the tequila was simple to me, as I mentioned to you. Casa Mexico, our house was Mexican. We were Mexican. Come into your house, Casa Mexico Tequila. Simple as that. But where it gets very tricky is when you start developing a bottle along with that. And the name has a lot to do with how you're going to actually promote your product. But for you to produce your own brand is fairly simple. It goes to the trademark. Trademark has to approve it. And then if you're going to actually commerce here in the United States, you have to trademark here in the United States. That can take a year or so to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's timely. But you can still start it. There's an opposition. You're going to have to work it through. But something like Mark Roberts Tequila, I'm sure it's not taken. But
All day long.
Casa Mexico,
All day long.
something like Casa Mexico is pretty crazy.
Because it needs to get approved.
Years.
It's got to be approved by the government, right?
It has to be approved by the EMP government and the trademark
That's
organization.
unbelievable.
And people ask me all the time, like, how the hell did I think of that? Right? Because it's like, it's a Mexican product, tequila.
Yeah.
Casa Mexico is perfect. It's like, Casa Mexico.
Come to my house, drink
Exactly.
my tequila.
So,
But it wasn't taken before?
no, but it's been,
Wow.
it's been trademarked in the 90s. Everybody always tells me
How many tequilas have the name Mexico in them?
very few that I know of. 5, that are not American known, if you will. They're all Mexican known.
Yeah.
We're the only one that I personally know of that have Mexico in the name in the United States and Europe.
Cool. So then let's fast forward to when you and I met. You're 7 years into it when we met. Is that true?
That's about right.
Okay,
I
so-
mean, a little bit more in my mind, but yeah, working hard.
Wait, you were 7 years into it when you met Roberts?
Yeah, it was 1999 when I started, but and it was 7 years when I started developing the product.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he
7
says,
years.
so I sit down with this dude. All right.
It's no joke.
Porsche's there. A few other people. I can't remember who else was there. But so we sit down. He tells me his whole story. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, there's no way in hell I can help him because I've never done anything but entertainment. Never. Not.
People always go to Roberts for shit. You know what I mean? He's like the
He's a cool
Don.
dude.
He's
I raised-
he says no all the time to me, especially.
By the way, he did say, look, I can't promise you anything.
Yeah.
I was
always said that.
honest.
He always was very honest.
That-
I think
that's him.
I
Yeah,
think
for
if,
sure.
I think
Yeah,
as a businessman, you have to be honest. What you're capable of doing is what you're capable of doing. So I just said to myself, "This is an amazing story. You need someone besides me. You don't need me.
Correct.
You need some." In fact, I may have said those exact words.
I remember.
I said, "You
being
need
very
someone
straight up.
else because this is amazing, and all I will do is like go
And I think I responded.
waste your time."
Was whatever you can do for me, man. I
Right.
appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I remember something like that happening
Yeah.
because we did kind of. All right, this is cool. This guy's being honest.
So it's funny because the only thing I did say, which is what I say all the time, I was like, I could have Mario Lopez try it.
Here we go.
So I took some bottles and I thought about it a while and I thought, how am I going to tell Mario about it so that it sounds of interest, right? So then I go to the office and I'm like, hey, so this dude with this tequila is kind of cool. I was thinking maybe it could be a show. And he's like, yeah, maybe, he's like not paying attention. And then I'm like, let's try it. So then I pour him a shot. I pour myself a shot. We drink it. And he says, do you think he would come to my wedding and serve tequila? And I said, I think he absolutely would do that. And he's all, for free?
For free? God?
So then I said, I don't know. Let me ask. So I came back to you and I said, hey, would you be open to going to Puerto Vallarta and serving at the pre-party for Mario's wedding and then at the party? And you said, yeah, I'll be there with girls and with bartenders and
Perfect.
we'll
I'll
do
make
the
it
whole
happen.
thing.
Perfect.
So I went back to him. I said, yeah, we'll do it. And I said, let's consider, doing the TV show. So he said, yeah, no problem. So we'll let's think about it. So then you show up in Mexico with your crew, and at the white party, which Tootie was at. David, we didn't know you yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're rubbing it in his face.
Take it is.
What a dick. All right, but that's how he rolls, Dave.
So we're at the white party, that party before the wedding, and dude, people had the most amazing time. They only served tequila, by the way, at that party.
Yeah, that's true.
At the white party, there was only tequila.
I think it was I forgot his wedding planner, but crickets, man. That bar.
Oh yeah, they had a little bar in the corner. Nothing.
Crickets.
All tequila.
No vodka,
yeah,
nothing. It was just all
all tequila, and we all had amazing time. Smoked cigars. I remember, we were looking at each other, going like, "Hey, this is pretty cool." So then the wedding hits, and at the wedding,
oh man,
we went through 122 bottles of Casa Mexico that day.
I mean, it was pouring. It was just flowing
everywhere. Everyone had, like, Eva Longoria had her bottle. She was running around, right, with her bottle. And and we were all drinking. And I remember, Tootie, I think you're in the picture. We were smoking a cigar, drinking tequila. And Mario turns to me and goes like, I think we should get in business with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are loving the tequila.
Yeah.
Mind you, 80% of them were Mexican.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, that was the buzz. How good it was. Like, because you're like, okay, free tequila. What did Mario get? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
true.
But then people were like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah, people were coming to me and asking me, like, saying, "Oh, bro, you were right.
It was legit.
No hangover."
So he turns to me and says, "Let's talk about doing this." So this is where it gets interesting. So we get back to Los Angeles. We meet up about doing a show called Tequila King.
Yep.
That show is about the origins of the tequila, about launching it in the United States, and about Mario Lopez coming on as a partner for the tequila. So that was how we were going to sell it. Mario's coming on, we're going to raise money, and this is going to become a big brand. So we do a TV show, and if we can't sell it.
Correct.
You're talking about a year. We can't sell it. So then we're like, well, we like the product too much at this point. We like Buccio too much. We like what's going on with this. Yep. Let's keep trying to sell it, but let's get into business on the business side of the tequila. I don't want to elongate this part, but at some point, Mario went to Oscar de la Hoya and said, hey, bud, let's get in business with Buccio. You guys met, hit it off.
Was at our launch.
Yeah, Oscar came to the launch of Casa Mexico in Los Angeles or in the United States.
November 6, 2015.
Yeah, for at Beso, which was Eva Longoria's place, and then they were doing a show about that, which was on Bravo or something.
Yeah, that's very true.
But we had a great time. Oscar got involved. Mario was involved. I was there. You were there. We're all fired up about this thing, and then the business of it all hit us in the face, right? Correct. Because you're like, well, wait, whoa, like, it's great that Mexicans are getting involved with this product and that we're going to try to sell it, but the truth is that distributors have to be right, buyers have to be right, we have to have money to market. So all that came into the business side of what we were doing. So there's entertainment going on, there's entertainment personalities in the picture, and there's the tequila. But just because you're a celebrity or because you're as powerful as Oscar or Mario doesn't mean that it's all going to just work for you, right? So it still was a ton of work in Vegas and with distributors, and you still had to do a ton of, marrying all of these businesses. But what was true and still true today is that we wanted Mexican Americans of Mexican descent to sell this product to the public.
That's correct.
We did not want to be The Rock, who's not Mexican. Right. George Clooney, who's not Mexican, selling. I mean, look, they can sell the product, and we appreciate that they're selling it, and the product's selling, and they're doing great. But if you're going to buy a product that's from Mexico that has origins, then wouldn't you want to buy it from someone that's blood?
Oh yeah.
Is Mexican. I think that was the theory, right? Is that you're Mexican, Mario's Mexican, Oscar de la Hoya's Mexican, I'm Mexican. Let's sell this. Yes. My real name's Gil de Montes when it's convenient.
Take it easy, Marco Antonio.
But it was the important part of what we were trying to
It's a very important
produce,
aspect to our business, man. It's very important. I think to me, it's been nothing but a dream to have real true Mexicans behind it, showing other races and other just people just enjoy a real true product, right? Yeah. Not because we want them just for Mexicans, but we want them to know that this comes from the land. The people that work there for us are family. They're not just workers. There are people that have been there with me for a long time that work for other tequileras. And to us, it's more important to sell quality over quantity.
Yeah.
But it's more important for them to feel when they buy a Casa Mexico bottle, they're going to feel, as you said, earth,
Yeah.
highlands, lo volcánico,
Hey,
history.
You're selling it to people
Yeah.
from an authentic point of view,
Completely
right?
important to me.
You're touching something that we touched when we went and did the commercial in March. I'm sorry, in February. Was it March or February?
March.
Okay. We're touching something that when we went to shoot
you
the
guys got
commercial
to
in
feel it.
March. Yeah, you felt it. You felt connected to the land, to Jalisco. You felt connected to the product. And I think that when we, Oscar, Mario, yourself, when you guys put it out there, that's what people are getting. They're getting something that truly represents who they are, where they came from, and the history of tequila, which goes back,
And I'll piggyback on the story because to me it was, it has been a dream. It has been a very important aspect to the business to have the right people and have Mario and Oscar, people that I look up to as a kid. And I would always say, like, damn, look at Oscar, all the stuff he's accomplished. And look at Mario, representing Mexico, the Lopez last name,
Yeah.
It's like, I always looked at that as being like a dream come true. Like having those type of people with me saying, hey, Buccio, I got your back. We're going to get this. Has been special to me and has been very important to my family because I've always looked up to them. So to have them on board with Casa Mexico for quite some time is very special.
Yeah, it's been cool. And look, if you're listening, it's not always a easy road,
Never.
I can say one thing about Buccio. I didn't know 7 years into it, and then he meets you, and then another 7. What is it, like 7 years now? So 14 years, and he still has the enthusiasm.
Yeah,
as if it's day one.
It's called passion.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Yeah,
because even as like a passionate filmmaker, 14 years, dude, that's a long time, and you're still, it's on the cusp. It's right there because Oscar Mario. You gotta believe.
Yeah.
But you got a great product, bro. And those guys really believe in it. I've been in conversations and around them, hearing conversations when you guys aren't there, and they love it. They do. They're into it.
And that's the thing. They have to love it for what it is, and they truly love the product.
But your enthusiasm that comes with it too is like, it says a lot.
So let's absolutely. Let's talk about the not so fun part.
Yeah, definitely.
We after we all got together, Oscar had connection in Vegas, Mario had connections with restaurants and people like that, and we had a great distributor on board. But just because you're powerful doesn't mean that people are going to buy the product, right? So we raised a little bit of money. You did what you had to do to put it together. Oscar went to Vegas and talked to all his people, and there was great meetings set up to get this product rolling. But even after all that, there was roadblocks.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was difficulties. And as a result of all that, we ended up with not enough product, and we ended up with cash deficiency.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because to sell tequila, you're going to need cash. So we're all pumped, but it's not working out the way we expected. Right. I think what's really telling about this is that then we all sat together and said, hey, it's time to bring in a bigger fish financially, someone that understands larger pictures. For instance, getting money so that you can grow and potentially go public, or grow. And when a big distributor comes in and a big buyer comes in, I can order 5 or 10 truckloads so that I'm ready. Because look, if you have a product, if you have a drink that you want to sell and you go to Costco, they're not going to buy it from you if all you have is 1 truckload and 10 cases. Why? Because they have their clients that go shop at Costco that if they buy your product and they like it, they need to know they can get more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would they sign you up? So to sign up with Costco and Ralph's and all these places, you have to have an abundance of product so that when they ask you for more, it's no problem.
That's correct.
Yeah, and you got to have money. I don't know if you knew this, Roberts, but my cousin works out in Vegas, and he works for he worked for Red Bull for a long time. He was like a regional. And he calls me up one day, this is years ago, and he says, hey, Casa Mexico, that's your buddy Lopez, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, how much money do they have? And I go, well, I don't think they really have a lot of money. This is before investments. I go, but he got Mario, and he's going to post, and, I think they're getting Oscar. And he said, well, he did. He goes, look, I'm going to help. My buddy's a distributor at Southern Wine and Spirits. Okay. He goes, he's my friend, and I owe him a favor. He owed me a favor. I owe him a favor. So I'm going to take it on. He goes, but they really need a lot of money, bro, especially here in Vegas, because we need to get the product out, and you don't understand it. I go, he'll Instagram, he'll tweet, I don't even think Instagram was, I think he'll tweet and this and that. But you do need money, and you need a lot of it. And especially, even if your product is this good, and you have people behind it, like Oscar and Mario, you still need capital.
Oh, most definitely. This industry, if you don't have capital and the right investment, you're just another great brand.
Yeah.
It's just like an amazing entertainer, right? If he doesn't have a great management, somebody could take him up to the main people. He's just a great performer, entertainer, or singer, songwriter, whatever the case may be. But for us, money has always been the biggest issue because we're a small company.
Yeah.
And for you to go against these huge conglomerates like Patron and Don Julio, they got money to burn.
Yeah.
You know, they that's not an issue. As a small company getting into Vegas, you could imagine how much money it takes to get into these big hotels, right?
Yeah.
You got amazing guys making calls.
Yeah.
But all right, I can get you a certain amount of cases, but in order for me to get those cases in there, I need a certain amount of promotional money. How do I get that promotional money? Because we only have money to make cases. So it becomes very complex. But, Mark is completely, I mean, he's exactly right. You know, that's always been our issue, that in order for us to fight these big conglomerates, we need to have X amount of money.
By the way, your product's way better than those big conglomerates.
Yeah, thank you.
I like it better than Patron and Casa Amigos.
I'll be honest with you, like if we weren't that good, dude, we wouldn't have a shot at all. No pun intended.
It's
the truth.
Yeah,
it's the truth. Those guys, they were just
no shot.
Like a little
no shot. Wait a minute. What shot?
Take it easy.
Hey, so what happens is you run into a product amount issue. You run into a financial deficit because you need money to market so that people understand what's going on. Because look, Mario was on Ellen, Mario was on Extra, Mario was on Access. He did amazing things to promote.
We just did a thing yesterday. Tequila Day was that last week?
Yeah, it was great.
I brought in tequila. I got the shots together. I made the margaritas.
By the way, they cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's been amazing.
Hundreds of thousands. Yeah. But that wasn't enough. Why? Because you can't find the product. If you hear about it and you can't find it, then there's a big gap, right?
Disconnect. You know,
so enter Mickey Gooch.
Mickey Gooch.
Right? Mickey Gooch, this tremendous businessman who's been on Wall Street, built companies, sold companies, houses, other companies, done an amazing amount of work. So somehow we meet him, I think through a friend, Gavin.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. We meet Mickey Gooch through Gavin Navarro. And you guys have a conversation. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to get into all of the people that we met with about the finances, but we meet with Mickey Gooch, and Mickey Gooch was one of those guys that you can see him in the meeting trying to figure out, like,
how does this make sense?
Yeah, how does this make sense? But you know what? He's one of those businessmen that's a big instinct player. He had an instinct about it, and he jumped in, and you're talking about millions of dollars invested in this company now, and you needed it. We all needed the infusion of excitement that someone was going to back what we were doing, what Mario's doing, what Oscar's doing. And now you're in a position where the company is actually growing. It's in Ralph's, it's in Food for Less, it's in Northgate, it's in Vallarta's. I mean, I just ordered from Pink Dot. They're going to be here any minute, but because of Tootie's stupid sandwiches, they're taking a lot longer to get here.
I'm hungry, dude. I'm intermittent fasting.
What do you mean? What does that mean? That you're intermittently eating all day?
He's having 3 sandwiches instead of 4.
Dude, come on. I got the Italian sub.
Hey, I got the Italian sub coming over here. But anyway, so Mickey comes in, and now tell us where you're at right now. Look, there's still a ton of excitement on our part. Mario and Oscar absolutely love the product. They can't help but promote it all of the time. It's always at their parties. It's an exciting thing to be doing. Dude, we're drinking it right now.
I've never seen someone drink so much tequila than Oscar when we went down there in those 48 days.
No, I drank more than him.
No, dude, he for sure. He like from the time he woke up to the time he passed out to the time he woke up again. Yeah, right. He went straight to it. Although you were pretty impressive. Robert said one morning, we were having micheladas because we were shaking like crackheads. Not because the tequila is good, but we were drinking everything. Because you drink the tequila and you feel good, and then you go, let me try that. Let me try. And next thing you know, you're drinking everything. Roberts filled up a glass of silver. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember this.
On that Sunday.
Like water.
Yeah, at the edge of the table. And he stood up in front of everybody, and he drank the whole thing. And he went like this. ooh, that was good. And he put it down. We're like, oh shit, it's 10:30.
Yeah, I got sick pretty soon after that. That was a tough plane ride. But it is delicious. Mickey Gooch has stepped in. He's doing what he has to do to move this thing forward. You have Gina Guccione over there as president now of Casa Mexico, taking incredible strides. And I think we finally have Casa Mexico Tequila on track for large success, right?
Yes, I'm excited. The whole team's excited. I think this is what I've always been sort of envisioning for a long time. And obviously Mickey has been tremendous to our growth.
Yeah.
You know what it is, guys. At the end of the day, let's be honest. You're nothing without money. Money is what makes you.
You need it.
You can have an amazing product once again. If you don't have the money to showcase it to the world, you're just an excellent product. That's it.
You have amazing script. You don't have financing. You just have an amazing.
You need vision.
But that vision comes with him realizing, all right, you know what? This is something worth getting into, and I think it's gonna have the punch that I'm looking for. Hasn't been easy, because nothing's ever easy. But I think this moment in Casa Mexico's life is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Gina, our new president, she's amazing, man. She's just a firecracker. She's ready to roll. And
you know what I like too, Buccio? When we went to Arandas, I like that the Mexicans down there were as excited about this company, this brand as like Roberts and I, who are Mexican Americans over here. Like we like the tequila, but they were equally as excited, if not more excited. And they live down there.
But you know why? Because we take care of them, man.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
I take care of my people.
Yeah.
I don't give them a shirt and a bottle for freaking Christmas.
Yeah, no, I know that, but they like the
really,
product.
Truly love us.
Yeah,
They believe in our storytelling. They
believe it. You're good. You're a great partner, but they like the product.
Very true.
You know what I mean?
They know we're not selling BS product. We're selling something that's good that people are going to say, "Oh wow, what's the name?"
If you're listening, you have to try it. I mean, you can pick it up. You can call Pink Dot. Pink Dot would have been here in 45 minutes had it not been for Teddy ordered 3 sandwiches.
Well, look, I just got extra provolone and gabagool. What do you mean? They got the imported prosciutto.
But yeah, dude, it's inspiring. It's exciting. You've had to adjust and make your
big time.
Make your sacrifices for your company. It's not always easy. You don't always end up with all of the piece of the pie. You have to share those pieces. But I think you've done the right thing. And you're talking about an industry that if this takes off the way we expect it to take off, you could be a millionaire many times over.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't matter what you own or don't own. But yeah, you have to tip your hat to Mickey.
Most definitely.
Not only did he help with Casa Mexico, he also funded the script for Feliz Navidad, which is pretty amazing.
You're welcome, Robert.
Thank you.
From Buccio right now.
Yeah, thank you.
For Eric Buccio, you wouldn't be having Feliz Navidad.
Well, it went the other way around. We found Gav and then brought him to Buccio. Then it came back, right? So it's all a mix. No, we're all in it together.
No, right. But I think a lot of people have been very important to the growth of Casa Mexico and everything internally. Like I've made many connections to people around us that have benefited themselves, but we're a team. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you have an idea. You got a gentleman who's always a visionary for stuff. Yeah. Why not pitch it to him and why not pick it up? So it has nothing to do with him connecting me with them. At the end of the day, we're a family. Yeah. We need to take care of each other. Yeah. And hopefully one day I'm able to promote stuff because I love what you guys do. And I'm gonna be like, I'll throw some in there.
That'd be fun.
I love that.
But you're a good dude, Buccio. People want to help you, and and that's like that's a lot of like filmmaking too.
It's a gift.
You have to be genuine. You have to be honest, and you have to be willing to like put yourself out there, and people will help you. Because they see your passion behind it, so they're like, this guy's.
It's passion, and I want to go. I want to talk about the commercial, the big commercial that we shot in March. That's coming.
Did you use extreme music on that?
I didn't, but before we get to extreme music, what I will say is that I've been in this business for almost 30 years. I have never been on a set where there was a bartender serving drinks the entire time.
That was the best photo shoot I've ever been on, hands down.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
2 days of just, you know what they'd ask you? Modelo, Pacifico, or tequila?
Yeah.
You know, it just depended on, like I couldn't drink tequila that early. Well, I did.
Correct.
But I was like,
you were right. You're right.
You know what I mean? But it was the only set
You did it right.
that I've ever been on where people were just assigned to get you a drink. Like they were like, what can I get you to
That was
drink?
pretty amazing. For you guys to be like odd about it, that
It was
threw me off.
amazing.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
It was
And the
amazing.
food was incredible. It was just, everything was incredible.
Everything
great.
was remarkable on that shoot, and I felt lucky, to be honest. Considered Gavin
I
got
didn't want it
kicked
to
off.
end. I didn't want
Gavin
it to end.
got kicked off the plane to let me on. So sorry about that, Gavin.
See, he said it was me. He was mad at me.
Maybe it was you. Never
He
mind.
said-
It was
he-
you.
Yeah,
It was you.
It was
It
me.
was you.
Yeah, but
But I do want to talk about extreme music. You're a musician, right?
A musician. at
Yeah, you
heart, for
started
sure.
as a
I started
musician.
as a musician
Yeah.
many years ago, and I consider myself a musician. I'm a freaking closet musician now because it's just at home, my jamming my guitar.
But you still play.
I still play, of course. Yeah. I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. The
Nice.
Rush.
drink a little
You know,
tequila and get a little jam
tequila.
session.
Yeah, I like the old school stuff. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm a big just jazz fan like my dad is.
Well,
so.
our one of our supporters, Russ Emanuel, he started a company called extrememusic.com. And extrememusic.com is one of the biggest libraries in the world. It houses all types of music, drama music, comedy music, slapstick comedy, boleros,
Nice.
mariachi music, Christmas music. I mean, literally anything you can think of, they have it. And if you're looking to, find a song for your commercials, find a song for your TV shows. Like right now, I was on a spotting session call with our composer Danny Lux on Feliz Navidad. And there, I used a lot of extreme music cues, and I had to go to their site and punch in Christmas music,
And you got it.
exciting music, and everything came up.
That's
Exciting
awesome.
Christmas music, happy Christmas music, and I picked the songs I liked. I put them into the movie, and it's funny because you listen to them, and when a composer says to you, "That's a great cue. I can't write anything better." I mean, I don't know that he said that because I don't want to put words in his mouth, but definitely we kept some extreme music cues because they were just great. They were just good.
Yeah.
So, so I think
That's
key,
awesome.
I think the key is if you're looking for music for any product that you're working on, whether it be a commercial,
We're
a
gonna need to
TV
talk to
show,
our marketing
a film,
department.
please
Yeah.
put them in,
Yeah, let's put 'em in contact.
get an account there and start
Yeah.
putting music you like in there. But it's an amazing service. Russ really did it right. He's working with Hans Zimmer. He's working with a bunch of amazing composers all over the world that are putting great music into television shows that are hits. You're talking about millions of dollars being
That's
made on these songs, but you can get them at a bargain price. So check out extrememusic.com for all your music needs. Yeah,
For sure.
but let's get back to Casa Mexico Tequila. So you're in. How long have you been doing it now?
So see, it's a very complex question for me, right? The moment I started thinking about it and have not stopped since 1999, Y2K. So it's been since then, since
21 years.
Yeah, since I've been working hard at trying to develop a product.
Yeah.
2015 was the true inception to the commerce world, right? To selling product. That was probably the most special day ever because I saw the product and the people behind me saying go for it, like Mario and the whole amazing glamorous night that we had. So I personally think 2015 was like the moment.
That was Bessel.
That was
Hey,
that was the time.
hang on. I'm sorry. Pink Dot has arrived with Casa Mexico Tequila.
Let's-
I'm going to hang on a second.
Yeah.
Let's
Get it.
take a tequila
it.
break.
Tequila break. I gotta take a leak too.
I had to take a Pink Dot break
Yeah.
because Pink Dot delivered Casa Mexico Tequila to the door within an hour. Well, okay, an hour and 15 minutes because Tootie ordered sandwiches.
Oh, and half the one you're eating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they forgot my one sandwich that I ordered. But they did deliver. It was about an hour. They delivered sandwiches. They delivered Casa Mexico Tequila. Incredible delivery service. Pink Dot.
I love Pink Dot.
Yeah, you can order Casa Mexico, any of them, by the way, which is rare because at Ralph's you can only get the silver. But you got Casa Mexico Reposado. I got silver, and they had añejo. And somehow Pink Dot never runs out. Why is that?
You're on top of their game.
Connected to the distillery in the back of Pink Dot.
Well, thank you, Pink Dot. Appreciate it. Hey, Buccio, thank you for being here today. It's been a pleasure talking to you and learning about how the business of tequila really connects to entertainment, which it really does. And I think the final thought is definitely that if you want to buy tequila from real Mexicans, which by the way you should, Casa Mexico Tequila is just that.
Definitely. I appreciate you guys for having me. You guys are not only carnales, you guys are my familia.
Yeah.
You guys have always been there for me and been true pals. So thank you for that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Authenticity comes with Casa Mexico Tequila. You could take anything away from me except my authenticity and how much I love my country, my first country. And to share it with my second country and have people truly enjoy something that comes from Earth is special to me. So yeah, you're going to get authenticity with Casa Mexico.
Well, try Casa Mexico Tequila if you haven't yet. And we'll see you next time on Let's Get Into It.
Side note, Roberts, before we get out, Buccio told me on that flight, he believes in me and he's going to invest in my film when he sells Casa Mexico for millions of dollars.
That's what's up.
I did say that.
He did say that, see?
I love it.
100.
That's not going to make the cut anyways, but still, I had to throw it out there.
Thank you for being here on Let's Get Into Entertainment, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Buccio. Appreciate you.
Gracias.
Hey.
Roberts didn't acknowledge anything I said.
I'm going to leave it in.
No, you ain't.
I am.
No, you won't. I'll bet you.